So I suppose we could call the position that I hold it's orthodox. We could call it patristic, as in the early church fathers. And for them, there were a few things going on. One of those we would call Christus Victor, which is that the cross is about the victory of Christ over Satan, sin, and death. He has exposed the lies of the enemy. He has forgiven our sins, and he has rescued us from death through resurrection. So all of that kind of comes together in this idea, the victory of Christ. And so that's one element, although there are layers to it. Yeah, so in a sense, you get like these early church fathers where they're realizing that the issue around the cross is not only that we need forgiveness. That's easy enough. God is free to forgive. He undergoes the wrath of the world against him, and instead of responding with vengeance, he responds with forgiveness. Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. And then the Father says, okay. So God has always been free to forgive sin and remove guilt. He was doing that even prior to the incarnation, but now at the cross, he does that for all people and for all time and for all sin. But they're also concerned about the effects of sin, and the effects of sin being alienation and death. So it's not enough that he forgives our sin. He needs to rescue us from death itself, to destroy death. And he does that by entering death. But he can't enter death as God, because God can't die. So he assumes human nature so that he can experience death. But he doesn't just experience death as a man. He takes, this is one person. This is the God-man. So what happens when you take God into death? Well, death is destroyed. So that's how they would talk about this. He's trampled down death by death, and upon those in the tombs has bestowed life. And he has exchanged the consequences of our sin for the gifts of his grace. And so that's a little complex, but we could call that a patristic or Christus Victor atonement.